lot to say, especially just about being 29, you know. When I turned 29, it was like, I don't know, it just felt like a regular, another day, to be honest. But honestly, it changed a lot of perspectives in me. I feel like at the age of 27, I had a lot of stuff to think about. And that's the age where I felt like I wanted to take like hella risk and do everything that I was thinking or saying that I wanted to do. So, you know, turning 27 was a pivotal moment in my life. And then 28 just felt like nothing, I would say. And then 29, I don't know, it just feels like a lot of things, it just feels like a lot more things changed. Like being around friends, family, parents get older, friends get older. People are starting to, you know, move up in careers and they have families, buy a house, you know, do everything, society standards, the regular. But I knew like a lot of things in my life would be maybe a tad bit different and I would take like a different direction. But I knew that only thing that could stop me from getting to where I wanted to go was gonna be my mind. Like if I could overcome how I think and what I think about myself and I can believe in myself to my fullest, I know I can achieve anything that I want to achieve. But then you start to think to yourself like everything is pretty much on you. You know, the way that you go about life, the direction that you want to go, it's pretty much on you, what you want to do and what you want to get out of this life. So as like life is, you can either settle for, you know, just being comfortable where you're at, or you can, you know, take initiative and take control of your life. And so that's the things that I be thinking of when, you know, I turned 29. It was like, well, damn, you know, I need to be a little bit more optimistic about direction and where I'm going and just, you know, I need to take the time because it's pretty much on me. A lot of things is just on me. I can't rely on, you know, friends and people's word. Like it's everything is on me. And yeah, you will have good help sometimes, family, friends. That stuff is cool. But I know I got to, the things that I want to accomplish, I got to make it happen. So that's pretty much a big shift that happened. Another shift that happened with me when I turned 29 was just not needing the validation. Success just looked completely different to me. It started to look like I just wanted peace more, to be honest. I just wanted to be at peace and I wanted my freedom. Like at 27, I took off and I wanted to travel to new places, and I traveled to a lot of different places. And I feel like that was at a great age where I could experience so much, meet new people, grow, get new connections. And I did that. And that really like changed my perspective on a lot of things. I felt like, man, I really wanted, at that point, I was like, I really, when I see myself in this environment, I see myself thriving. So that's kind of part of like when you get older, it's like you start to realize the stuff that you really like and the direction that you really want to go. And it's really up to you to take the initiative and really, you know, go in the direction you want to go. If I want to live like this, or if I want to do this, then I really need to, you know, take the time. Maybe I have to go back home. And I would say I did. At that point, it was like a failure. I wouldn't call it completely like, oh, I failed at this, but things didn't go the way that I expected it to go. And I think that's another thing that you have to take into consideration. Like you get older, you always have like this picture in your head of what things are supposed to look like, or like how things are supposed to go in your life. But at the end of the day, it's like things could take a whole different direction, a whole different toll. Like you never know where things can go. But at the same time, like if you got a set goal or a spot that you really want to be at, things will work out, I feel. your life doesn't look like everybody else's, and everybody got a different path, everybody got a different journey. So there's no point in comparing and seeing what other people are up to. That's another thing. It's like just getting hip to like social media and validation and all that stuff is like, yo, everybody look like they live a great life on social media, but that's not always the case. Like they only showing the good. They're not showing the bad parts. The parts where they just completely down bad, struggling, starting over from ground zero. Nobody shows that. Even I don't even show that. Like it's like on social media, I have most of the time I use it for modeling and getting new work and figuring out what's next for me. So being that I seen that my life I was kind of waking up to my life being a little bit different than most people's. I stopped really caring about what other people think. And I think that's one of the biggest things that, you know, get into 28, 27, 29, my latter 20s, it was just on, like, you have nobody to impress, and you need to start worrying about what other people are thinking. Nobody really cares about you like that. So it's like when I take that in consideration, I'm like, I have to truly believe in myself, because nobody believing in you like yourself, yo. You really gotta have belief in yourself. Of course, I feel like you always gonna have good people in your corner, people that truly believe in your capabilities and have good thoughts about your future. But at the end of the day, you have to think about that stuff yourself. Like you have to have in your head, like, I can do this. And that's what I gotta tell myself, like every day is like, yo, I can do this. Talk myself through certain things. That's pretty much been 29 so far. Just waking up to, like I say, thinking life would be, sometimes you just think life would be going in a completely different direction. You know, I lived life as an athlete, a model, so many different titles and different kind of lifestyles, I would say, around different people. But at the end of the day, like, that's gonna happen. You're gonna have multiple identities, and you're never gonna be set on just one thing, in my opinion. Like, I've always changed and evolved and grown and just walked in different paths. And I applaud myself for it, because living those different lives, it's like you can do things that people probably never got to or never reached, or always like wanted to get to, but they didn't get to that point. Like hard work and everything doesn't always equal to your success. That's why I always think, like, you know, I have to work to my strengths. Like, what am I strong at? And what am I getting good at? Like, what am I great at, you know, already off rip? And what do I have the skills to do that can be useful in something? It's like, when I put those together and I don't work against the grain, I feel like good things can happen. And I hope I'm not rambling too much. You know, this is like not my average YouTube video, but I always like to take these walks to kind of clear my head and, you know, figure out what's next, get some clarity. You know, the older you get, the more decisions you have to make and the more choices you have to figure out is what's best for me, you know? What's best for me? I always think about this girl I had met in Hania when I was in Crete, all the way on an island out in Greece. And we were talking about making choices in life. And I was telling her like how, you know, basically how I overthink, and how I'm like, what's the best decision for me? Like, what is best for me? You know, I'm always thinking about this move will be the best thing. This is what I need to do right now. But she was telling me, you know, we never know like what's like the right choice for us. You know, you just have to make a decision and go with it and see how it goes. It may not be the best choice. It might be the best thing to happen to you. You don't know until you do. But at the end of the day, you gotta make a choice. And she was telling me about how she used to be like into the Truman Show. Mind you, this is a girl she was from China. She was from Shanghai. And she was always talking about like the Truman Show and how that always felt like her life and stuff like that. And I know that's not like on the point, like the point that she was trying to get across, but I think she was trying to explain that, you know, your life, you have to live it true to you. You can't kind of conform to, you know, the society's standards. Because in the Truman Show, he was kind of following suit. He was doing what he needed to do, that the show needed. And once he realized he was on a show, it was like he broke free. And that's what she compared her life to. And that's what I like, because it's like once people break free, they really live true to themselves. I don't have a perfect life. And sometimes I might feel like I'm very behind in life, but I'm not, you know? Things to look forward to, and I always need to stay positive about my journey. Life is a journey, and I gotta make sure I stay focused and get to where I wanna go.